Ladies and gentlemen, discipline is the ability to keep moving forward even when your emotions are trying to pull you backward. Most people spend their lives waiting for motivation to appear before they take action. They wait to feel inspired before they wake up early. They wait to feel confident before they chase a dream. They wait to feel ready before they change their habits. But the problem with motivation is that it comes and goes. Some days you feel powerful, excited, and unstoppable. Other days you feel tired, discouraged, distracted, and weak. If your life is controlled only by motivation, then your progress will always be inconsistent. That is why discipline matters more. Discipline is not built on feelings. It is built on decisions. It is choosing to do what needs to be done even when you do not feel like doing it. It is waking up early when your body wants more sleep. It is studying when your mind wants entertainment. It is training when your muscles are sore. It is staying committed when nobody is encouraging you. Discipline teaches you how to act based on purpose instead of emotion. The truth is, emotions are unreliable. Your feelings can change in a moment. One failure can make you feel hopeless. One criticism can make you doubt yourself. One difficult day can make you want to quit everything you started. But disciplined people understand something powerful. Feelings are temporary, but decisions shape destiny. They know that success is not created by occasional bursts of motivation. It is created by daily habits repeated consistently over time. Think about the people who achieve greatness in any area of life. Athletes do not train only on days they feel excited. Leaders do not work hard only when conditions are perfect. Successful people continue showing up even on difficult days. That consistency separates them from everyone else. While others stop because they feel uncomfortable, disciplined people keep moving because they are committed to a bigger vision. There will be mornings when your mind tells you to stay in bed. There will be moments when fear whispers that you are not good enough. There will be seasons where progress feels invisible and effort feels pointless. In those moments, motivation will not save you. Discipline will. Discipline says, I will continue even when it is hard. Discipline says, I will stay faithful to the process. Discipline says, I refuse to let temporary emotions destroy my future. One of the greatest dangers in life is becoming addicted to comfort. Comfort feels safe, but it often keeps people stuck in the same place for years. Growth requires discomfort. Improvement requires sacrifice. You cannot become stronger physically without pushing your body. You cannot become stronger mentally without facing challenges. You cannot build a better future while constantly choosing the easiest path. Discipline forces you to step beyond what feels comfortable so you can become who you were meant to be. Many people dream about success, but few are willing to embrace the discipline required to achieve it. They love the idea of winning, but they avoid the process that creates winners. They want confidence without preparation. They want results without consistency. They want transformation without sacrifice. But real change happens when discipline becomes part of your identity. When you stop negotiating with excuses, when you stop depending on mood, when you train yourself to follow through no matter how you feel. The powerful thing about discipline is that it strengthens every area of your life. The more you practice it, the stronger your mind becomes. You begin to trust yourself because you keep your word to yourself. You gain confidence because you know you can survive difficult moments. You develop resilience because you stop running from challenges. Over time, discipline changes the way you think, the way you act, and the way you respond to adversity. A disciplined person understands that success is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built in small decisions repeated daily. Every time you choose focus over distraction, effort over excuses, and commitment over comfort, you are shaping your future. Those small choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they create extraordinary results. Most people only pay attention to success when it becomes visible. They celebrate the victory, admire the achievement, and praise the result, but they rarely see the hidden process behind it. What they do not understand is that winning starts long before the world notices anything. True success is built in private, in moments where nobody is watching, clapping, or encouraging you. The unseen hours are what create the visible results later. There's something powerful about working in silence. When nobody is paying attention, your true character is revealed. It is easy to stay committed when people are cheering for you. It is easy to work hard when recognition is guaranteed. But real discipline is developed when there is no applause. It is waking up early while everyone else is asleep. It is staying focused while others waste time. It is sacrificing comfort today for a better future tomorrow. Those quiet moments shape the kind of person you become. Many people quit because they expect immediate recognition. They want their effort to be noticed right away. They want quick rewards for every sacrifice they make. But growth does not always show itself instantly. Sometimes you can work for months or even years without visible progress. That is where most people lose patience. They assume nothing is happening because they cannot see results. However, just because progress is invisible does not mean progress is absent. A seed grows underground before it ever breaks through the surface. Long before anyone sees the tree, roots are developing in darkness. The same thing happens in life. Your private discipline is building strength beneath the surface. Every early morning, every late night, every sacrifice, and every moment of consistency is creating a foundation for future success. The world may not notice it yet, but your character is being shaped during those hidden seasons. Private work develops more than skill, it develops identity. When you continue working without external validation, you learn how to rely on internal conviction instead of public approval. You stop needing constant praise to stay motivated. You stop depending on attention to remain committed. Instead, you develop a deeper sense of purpose. You begin working because you believe in the vision, not because people are watching. There will be seasons in life when it feels like nobody understands your struggle. People may overlook your effort. Some may even doubt your potential. During those moments, it becomes tempting to quit because the journey feels lonely. But loneliness is often part of the process of growth. Greatness is usually developed in isolation before it is revealed in public. The pressure, the sacrifice, and the unseen battles are preparing you for responsibilities you cannot yet see. What happens in private eventually appears in public. The confidence people admire is built through private preparation. The strength people respect is developed through hidden struggles. The discipline people envy is created through daily choices nobody witnessed. Success may appear sudden to outsiders, but the truth is that every achievement has a long story behind it. There were days of doubt, failure, exhaustion, and persistence long before the breakthrough happened. One of the biggest mistakes people make is comparing their beginning to someone else's finished result. They see the reward without understanding the process. They admire the spotlight without recognizing the years spent in darkness. But every successful person has gone through seasons where they had to stay committed without immediate results. They had to keep believing when nothing seemed to change. They had to trust the process before they could enjoy the outcome. Working in private also protects your focus. Not every dream needs to be announced. Sometimes speaking too much about your goals can drain the energy needed to actually pursue them. Quiet discipline creates stronger results than loud intentions. Instead of constantly talking about what you plan to do, focus on becoming the person capable of doing it. Let your growth speak through your actions. There's a special kind of strength that comes from knowing you earned your progress through sacrifice and consistency. When success finally arrives, you carry a deeper confidence because you remember the hidden battles that shaped you. You remember the nights nobody saw, the tears nobody knew about, and the moments you almost gave up but kept going anyway. Those private victories become the foundation for public success. One of the hardest truths to accept in life is that your greatest battle is not always with other people. It is often with yourself. Many people spend years blaming circumstances, blaming society, blaming critics, or blaming bad luck for why they are stuck. While challenges from the outside are real, the biggest obstacle is usually the internal struggle happening within the mind. The real fight is against fear, laziness, doubt, excuses, distractions, and the constant desire to stay comfortable. Every person has two versions of themselves battling every day. One version wants growth, discipline, and purpose. The other version wants comfort, shortcuts, and instant gratification. One side wants to wake up early, stay focused, and build a better future. The other side wants to procrastinate, avoid responsibility, and choose what feels easy in the moment. The direction of your life depends on which version you feed consistently. The dangerous thing about self-sabotage is that it often feels harmless at first. A little procrastination seems small. One missed opportunity feels unimportant. One excuse sounds reasonable. But over time, repeated excuses become habits, and those habits shape your future. People rarely destroy their potential in one dramatic moment. More often, they slowly drift away from greatness through small daily compromises. Fear is one of the strongest internal enemies people face. Fear convinces people to stay where they are instead of stepping toward who they could become. Fear says, what if you fail? Fear says, what if you are not good enough? Fear keeps people silent when they should speak, inactive when they should move, and doubtful when they should believe. Many dreams die not because people lack talent, but because fear convinced them to stop trying before they truly began. Another powerful enemy is comfort. Comfort can feel safe, but it often becomes a prison. Human beings naturally avoid pain and seek ease, but growth does not happen in comfort zones. Strength is developed through resistance. Discipline is developed through challenge. Confidence is developed by overcoming difficult situations. When people constantly choose what is comfortable, they avoid the very experiences that could transform them. Distractions are also one of the greatest battles of modern life. Many people lose their focus not because they are incapable, but because their attention is constantly divided. Hours disappear through meaningless entertainment, endless scrolling, and unhealthy habits. Meanwhile, dreams remain untouched. Time is one of the most valuable resources in life, yet many people give it away carelessly. A distracted mind cannot build a focused future. Excuses are another hidden enemy. Excuses make people feel temporarily justified while keeping them permanently stuck. It is easy to explain why something cannot be done. It is easy to blame lack of resources, difficult circumstances, or past failures. But excuses never create progress. They only delay responsibility. Growth begins when a person stops asking, why is this happening to me? And starts asking, what can I do about it? The battle with yourself also includes controlling your thoughts. Negative thinking can quietly weaken a person from the inside. When someone constantly tells themselves they are weak, incapable, or destined to fail, those thoughts eventually influence their actions. The mind is powerful. What you repeatedly believe about yourself shapes the way you live. That is why mental discipline matters. You must learn to challenge destructive thoughts instead of surrendering to them. Winning the internal battle requires honesty. You cannot change what you refuse to confront. Sometimes the hardest thing is admitting that your habits, mindset, or choices are holding you back. But awareness is the first step toward transformation. Once you recognize the patterns damaging your growth, you can begin replacing them with stronger habits and healthier thinking. The people who become successful are not always the smartest or the most naturally talented. Often, they are simply the ones who learned how to master themselves. They learned how to control their emotions, stay focused under pressure, and remain disciplined even during difficult seasons. They stopped allowing temporary feelings to control permanent decisions. Every day is another opportunity to win the battle within. Every decision matters. Every action either strengthens the disciplined version of you or feeds the weaker version that wants to quit. Over time, those choices determine the quality of your future. One of the fastest ways to lose peace, confidence, and focus in life is constantly comparing yourself to other people. Comparison has the power to make even strong people feel weak. It can make progress feel meaningless and success feel small. In a world where people constantly display their achievements, lifestyles, and victories, it becomes easy to believe that everyone else is moving ahead while you are falling behind. But the truth is, comparison is a distraction from your own growth. Every person has a different journey, different struggles, different timing, and different responsibilities. Some people begin with opportunities others never had. Some people face battles nobody else can see. Comparing your path to someone else's is unfair because you do not know the full story behind their life. What you usually see is the highlight, not the hardship. You see the result, but not the sacrifice. You see the success, but not the pain it took to get there. When people focus too much on others, they often neglect themselves. Instead of building their own future, they become obsessed with measuring their progress against someone else's. That mindset creates frustration and insecurity. It shifts attention away from personal improvement and places it on competition that may not even matter. Real growth begins when you stop asking, am I ahead of everyone else? And start asking, am I becoming better than I used to be? Personal growth is not about beating others. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, and more disciplined than the person you were yesterday. Some people waste years trying to impress others while ignoring the deeper work that needs to happen within themselves. They chase validation instead of transformation. They seek applause instead of purpose. But external approval is temporary. Real confidence comes from knowing you are growing into your potential. One of the dangers of comparison is that it can destroy gratitude. When people constantly focus on what others have, they forget to appreciate their own progress. They overlook the skills they have developed, the battles they have survived, and the growth they have already achieved. Instead of recognizing how far they have come, they become consumed by what they still lack. This mindset creates endless dissatisfaction because there will always be someone richer, smarter, faster, or more successful in some area of life. Comparison also creates unnecessary pressure. People begin chasing goals that do not truly belong to them. They pursue lifestyles, careers, or definitions of success based on what society celebrates rather than what genuinely fulfills them. As a result, many people end up exhausted trying to become someone they were never meant to be. Focusing on your own growth allows you to build a life aligned with your values, strengths, and purpose instead of copying someone else's path. Growth requires attention, and attention is limited. Whatever you constantly focus on shapes your mindset and behavior. If your attention is consumed by envy, competition, and comparison, your energy becomes scattered. But when you direct that energy towards self-improvement, your life begins to change. Instead of being distracted by what others are doing, you start investing in your own habits, your own mindset, and your own future. There is power in becoming deeply committed to your own development. Focus on strengthening your mind. Focus on building discipline. Focus on learning new skills. Focus on improving your character. Those things create lasting transformation. The more you grow internally, the less you feel threatened by the success of others. You begin to understand that someone else's victory does not take away your potential. Social media has intensified the comparison problem because people are constantly exposed to carefully edited versions of other people's lives. Many individuals compare their everyday reality to someone else's best moments. This creates unrealistic expectations and unnecessary feelings of inadequacy. But real life is more complex than what people choose to display publicly. Everyone experiences struggles, doubts, failures, and moments of uncertainty, even if they never show them. Focusing on your own growth builds peace because you stop racing against everybody else. You begin measuring success through progress instead of popularity. You stop needing constant validation because your confidence is rooted in discipline and self-respect. Over time, you realize that the most important competition is not with the world around you. It is with the person you have the potential to become. Many people underestimate the power of consistency because they are too focused on immediate results. They want dramatic change overnight. They want success to happen quickly, effortlessly, and all at once. But real transformation rarely works that way. Most lasting success is built slowly through small actions repeated every single day. What seems insignificant in the moment often becomes life-changing over time. Consistency is what turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. Small daily habits shape the direction of your life more than occasional moments of motivation. One workout will not transform your body, but consistent training over months and years will. Reading a few pages once may not seem powerful, but learning every day builds knowledge and wisdom over time. Saving a little money occasionally may not look impressive, but consistent financial discipline creates stability and freedom. The little things people repeat daily eventually become the foundation of their future. The reason consistency is so powerful is because it compounds. Every positive action builds on the previous one. Every disciplined choice strengthens your habits. Every day you stay committed, you reinforce the mindset that you are someone who follows through. Over time, these repeated actions become automatic. Discipline stops feeling forced and starts becoming part of your identity. Many people fail not because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity, but because they quit too soon. They become discouraged when results are slow. They expect immediate rewards for their effort. And when progress is not visible quickly, they lose motivation. But success often grows silently before it becomes visible. Just because you cannot see dramatic change today does not mean your effort is wasted. Every consistent action matters, even when the results are delayed. One of the biggest mistakes people make is underestimating how much their daily choices matter. Small decisions may seem harmless in isolation, but repeated over time, they shape your character and your future. Waking up late every day may not ruin your life instantly, but years of laziness can destroy potential. Avoiding responsibilities occasionally may feel comfortable, but repeated avoidance weakens discipline. In the same way, choosing focus, effort, and discipline every day slowly transforms who you become. Consistency also builds trust in yourself. Every time you keep your word to yourself, your confidence grows stronger. When you repeatedly follow through on commitments, you prove to yourself that you are reliable. This creates mental strength because you stop depending on temporary emotions to control your actions. You begin acting based on values and purpose instead of mood. Transformation is often less about intensity and more about persistence. Some people start strong but lack endurance. They become excited for a few days, work hard for a short period, and then lose focus. Others may not move as fast, but they remain steady. They continue learning, growing, and improving even when progress feels slow. In the long run, consistent people usually outperform those who rely only on bursts of motivation. Life is shaped by routines. Your habits determine your outcomes more than your intentions. Everyone has goals, dreams, and ambitions, but goals without consistent action remain fantasies. Success belongs to people who continue working even when excitement fades. It belongs to people who stay committed through boredom, setbacks, and challenges. There will be days when consistency feels difficult. Some days you will feel tired, discouraged, or emotionally drained. Some days your effort may seem invisible, but discipline means continuing anyway. The ability to remain steady during difficult seasons separates strong individuals from those who constantly start and stop. Real growth happens when you learn to stay committed regardless of how you feel. Consistency creates momentum. The more you practice disciplined habits, the easier it becomes to maintain them. Small victories strengthen your belief in yourself. Over time, those victories build confidence, resilience, and mental toughness. Eventually, what once felt impossible becomes normal because your repeated actions have changed you from the inside out. People often admire success without understanding the daily discipline behind it. They see the final achievement, but overlook the years of consistent effort that made it possible. Every successful person has moments where they wanted to quit, rest, or give up. The difference is that they kept going. They understood that greatness is not built through occasional effort, but through repeated commitment over time. A powerful life is rarely created by one giant decision. It is usually built through countless small choices made consistently every day. Life will test every person at some point. There will be moments when things do not go as planned, when hard work feels unrewarded, and when failure seems louder than progress. In those moments, many people are tempted to quit. They begin to believe the struggle means they are not capable, not talented enough, or not meant to succeed. But the truth is, challenges are not signs that you should stop. They are part of the process that shapes strength, resilience, and character. Every successful person has faced setbacks. No one reaches greatness without experiencing disappointment, rejection, or failure. The difference is not that successful people avoid problems. The difference is that they refuse to let problems define them. They understand that setbacks are temporary, but quitting can create permanent regret. Failure has a way of making people question themselves. After repeated disappointments, doubt begins to grow. People start wondering if the effort is worth it. They compare themselves to others who seem to be succeeding faster. They focus on how far they still have to go instead of recognizing how far they have already come. This mental battle is often harder than the external struggle itself. The mind becomes tired before the body does. One of the greatest lessons in life is learning how to continue despite discouragement. Persistence is not about never feeling weak. It is about refusing to surrender even when you do feel weak. Strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the decision to keep moving through the struggle. Many people imagine strong individuals as people who never fail and never feel pain, but real strength is built through endurance. There are moments when quitting seems reasonable. The road feels too long. The obstacles feel too heavy. The results feel too distant. During those seasons, it becomes easy to believe that giving up will bring relief. But quitting usually does not remove pain. It only replaces the pain of discipline with the pain of regret. Temporary discomfort often leads to growth. While avoiding difficulty can lead to lifelong frustration, growth often happens slowly and invisibly. That is why many people stop too early. They expect dramatic progress in a short amount of time, but real transformation takes patience. Just because you cannot see immediate results does not mean nothing is happening. A person who continues learning, improving, and staying disciplined is changing internally long before the world notices externally. Duffermensa builds resilience. Every time you survive a difficult season, you become mentally stronger. Every setback teaches lessons that success alone cannot teach. Challenges develop patience, wisdom, humility, and emotional endurance. Without struggle, many people would never discover how strong they truly are. Difficult moments force growth that comfort never could. One of the biggest dangers during hard times is allowing emotions to make permanent decisions. People often quit in emotional moments. They give up during temporary frustration, temporary exhaustion, or temporary disappointment. But emotions change. A difficult day does not mean a difficult life. A failure does not mean you are a failure. A setback does not erase your potential. Learning to separate temporary emotions from long-term purpose is essential for perseverance. Duffermensa also requires faith in the process. Sometimes you must continue moving forward without immediate proof that things are improving. You must trust that your effort matters even when results are delayed. Many breakthroughs happen after long seasons of struggle. Unfortunately, some people quit just before the moment their persistence would have paid off. The people who eventually succeed are often not the most naturally gifted. They are the ones who developed endurance. Talent can create opportunities, but persistence is what sustains progress over time. Many talented individuals waste their potential because they stop when things become difficult. Meanwhile, less talented but more determined individuals continue growing until they achieve what once seemed impossible. There is something powerful about refusing to quit. Every time you rise after failure, you strengthen your character. Every time you continue despite obstacles, you prove to yourself that adversity cannot destroy you. Persistence changes the way you see challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as reasons to stop, you begin seeing them as opportunities to grow stronger. In the end, the journey belongs to those who keep going. The people who achieve meaningful success are often the ones who simply refused to surrender when life became difficult.